Can we sing that chorus to start? His name is wonderful. His name is wonderful. His name is wonderful. Jesus, my Lord. He is the mighty King, Master of everything. His name is wonderful. Jesus, my Lord. He's the great shepherd, the rock of all ages. Almighty God is He. Bow down before Him. Let's love and adore Him. For His name is wonderful. Jesus, my Lord. If you're glad to be in church tonight, would you say amen? Amen. Amen. I want us to sing another one of those worship sequences, Jill. I first of all want to begin by thanking the Lord for how He helped us last Wednesday night.
Amen.
And how He helped us Sunday. It was a good day, a good service Sunday night. And I'm very much aware, and we've got some things we're going to pray about after a while. But I'm very much aware that there's still people that are fighting serious battles and difficulties, and we've got some people fighting some very serious physical problems and that we're going to pray about. And so I thought it would be good tonight to sing a worship sequence that starts at number 555 in your Singing the Lord songbook. That the title of the worship sequence is Safe in Him. And it includes the songs Till the Storm Passes By, the first two verses of Till the Storm Passes By, and then a couple of verses in the next song, which is Under His Wings. And I know that some, I will tell you that I know some people that would kind of take advantage of these songs when they were in a seriously depressed state, and they were so in the mully grubs you wanted to sing Victory in Jesus after they got done, because it was like, come on, let's not live there. At the same time, sometimes I think it's extremely important for us to acknowledge when people are going through the fire and ask God to help them, right? I don't think it's a good idea to just ignore it. Are you not optimistic, Pastor Don? Absolutely. I like to live with the glass being half full versus half empty. But I want to tell you something. When somebody's struggling, I don't want to ignore the fact that they're struggling. I want to encourage them that God can and will see them through. And God's helped a lot of our people get through some dark moments, but not everyone is there yet. And when people are struggling out, we've got some people tuned in tonight that are having some very, very, very serious physical problems. And they need a touch from the Lord. And what I want them to know is we're not ignoring the pain that they're in. We're right there with them in the midst of their suffering. Most importantly, the God of the universe is right here with us tonight. Regardless of the storm that you might be going through, there is a great God in heaven who can help you. I sent a note to someone last night and I said, I just want to know you to know that I love you, but please know that your Heavenly Father loves you even more than I do. Isn't that the truth? Amen. And so I think it would be good tonight. I want you to stand with me. So I hope you've turned to song number 556, and then we're going to, Jill's going to play that interlude when we sing the first two verses, and then we're going to sing a couple of verses of Under His Wings. So let's sing it together tonight. Lord, we're so glad we can be in your house tonight. And we thank you for these Wednesday night services. Oh God, they are an oasis in the midst of the week. And we thank you, Lord, that Beach Grove Independent Nazarene Church still has Wednesday night prayer meeting. And we thank you for a faithful group of people that will sacrifice their time and make it to your house. And we thank you, Lord, for our online audience, people that can't be here but yet are tuned in, that need a touch from you tonight. So God, make this prayer meeting everything you want it to be. And Lord Jesus, meet our every need tonight, I pray. And minister to our hearts and speak to each one of us. In Jesus' name I pray. And all God's people said, amen. You may be seated. Well, if you'd like to hear the kids choir sing tonight, would you say amen? Amen. Amen. And I think we have a little surprise, don't we? Do what? You forgot already? You just said it 2 seconds ago. All right, turn on your microphones, and yours is already on, okay? All right. And so, you know, we're missing one of our faithful singers tonight, aren't we? And he had his tonsils taken out. I don't know if he's tuned in or not. But if he's not, he can hopefully watch this. But y'all are going to give him a big old, with your microphones on, you're going to give him a big old hi Miles, aren't you? And hi Miles, we miss you, okay? Do that on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hi Miles, we love you.
There you go. We love you and we miss you. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Hi Miles, we love you and we miss you. Miles, you're tuned in. Hide the snakes. Pay attention to church. We love you, buddy. If you enjoyed that, say amen. Amen. not sure which one it was. I think it was Clark, but Clark hit a musical lick that I want to learn to hit. Can I learn it? I think I want to hit that, Clark. I like that a lot. That was good. Thank you very much. Well, I would love to hear you testify tonight. I have a lot to share with you, but I wanted to wait. I would like for you to testify. So, Brother John Anderson, if you would help us, and Brother Ronnie Romans. I don't know where Brother Hires is tonight. I hope he's okay. He normally lets me know when he's going to be gone. But let's pray for him tonight. He's at a camp meeting. Okay. All right. Well, then he's okay. But who would like to testify? Who would like to be the first to testify tonight? Go ahead, Brother G. You're on your feet.
I'm just thankful God has helped me so much.
Amen.
I went through 3 or 4 weeks of low spell, but He brought me through, and I love Him. I want to serve Him. I'm glad for salvation. I'm glad for experience with a pure heart. I want to be all He made me to be.
Thank the Lord. Amen. Who's next? Brother Bob.
It's great to be in God's house on you tonight. I'm thankful that I have a church that I can come and worship in.
Amen.
A place I'd rather be right here.
That's right.
A wonderful place to like fellowship with those. I love the Lord. I to be a child of the King and serve Him. And I want to do all I can to build the kingdom.
Amen. Praise God. Who's next? We are off to a good start. Great. Who's next? Sister Donna.
I'm grateful for all the Lord's blessings to me. I was talking to Roger and was talking about being under a juniper tree. I said, I'd rather be under the spout where the glory's coming out.
Mm-hmm. You
You can be under there and you can just be sad, and you can be oppressed by the devil, but it's the glory's coming out. God fills your soul. It's all about my soul. This earthly body will perish someday. But I just want to make sure that God knows that my heart is right with Him more than anything else. And I love Him with all my heart. My desire is to see others make it to heaven, and I want to be that witness that I can help them. And I love Him tonight.
Amen. Thank the Lord. Who's next?
Amen. Praise God.
I see that hand. God bless you.
I love the Lord tonight, and it just seems like this week has just been one thing right after another, and some things 2 or 3 times a day. And I know that it's Satan that is really trying to take me down, but he's not going to make it, because I'm standing up against him, and that's through prayer. I've really been praying this week, each and every day, because there's things going on in my family that is right frightful. I mean, I'm really frightful that what might happen, but I can't keep living on that side. I've got to look on the glory side, that God is in control. And but I just, my family needs a lot of prayer, and I would appreciate it. But I love the Lord. I'm serving Him till I die, and then I'm going to make heaven my home.
Amen.
And I want to take my family with me, as many that will go. But I love Him with all my heart. I'm going to serve Him the rest of my life.
We will pray for your family specifically tonight. We will pray for them. Who else would like to testify tonight? Sister Lucy.
Well, in the Holiness Church I grew up in, there was this elderly gentleman, and he said that he counted till 10, and if nobody was up on their feet testifying, he was. And he did it over and over again. That wasn't just the first time, but it was just, he counted to 10, and he was on his feet. And I thought, you could, no matter how much you would count to, we all have something to praise the Lord for.
That's right.
It's just so good to be with dedicated Christians. The Holy Ghost is among us, walks among us on Wednesday nights. I do believe He's here.
Praise God.
And I love to be here. I don't want to dominate the testimonies. I love to hear everybody else. And I just love the Lord tonight with all my heart.
Praise God. Praise God. Who's next? The Lord is with us. Sister Jill, I'm glad you're testifying tonight. He will be there shortly with a microphone.
I feel like my thoughts are just all over the place tonight, so hopefully I can narrow this down. But I've just been thinking a lot lately about how I just want to be faithful. And I know God's faithful to me so many times. And I'm guessing I'm not the only one, but I just try to figure things out on my own. And there's been a couple times recently where I haven't been able to find something, and it's been, there's no way, I had seriously no idea where it was at. And I prayed, and God helped me find it almost immediately. And I knew that it wasn't me, it was, He helped me. And I think if He cares about something so little, which it wasn't super little, but He cares about the big things, and I've just been unsure of what to do lately, and I just know He has a plan, and plan for my life, plan for Lee's life. And I saw a meme recently that said something about find something you're passionate about doing, that you love doing. There's, life's not worth living if you aren't doing something you love doing, something like that. And I was just thinking about Lee's grandpa, who just recently passed away, and he was just this really quiet guy. He just hardly ever said anything, but he was so loving and gentle, and he worked in a career, a job that he did not like. His entire, and you almost think that was a waste, but he was so faithful in taking care of his family that even though he got up every day to a job he didn't like, he still continued to do it. And and his other focus was church. They put so much of their time and resources in church. And I thought, what if he had a job that he just felt so passionate about and loved so much, but then his focus wouldn't have been on church and his family? Because, I don't know, it's just a thought I had. And regardless of what God has for my life, I just want to be faithful to Him, and I want to, even if it's not something I'm passionate about. I feel kind of silly saying that at my age, but I just want to be faithful to Him no matter what it is.
Amen. Chili, you enjoy working with Pastor Don, right? I just want to make sure. I feel a little bit insecure at the moment. Brother George.
Well, I thank the Lord for a good day. Spent quite a bit of time in the garden today. And it's kind of seemed like therapy for me to get out there, and even if it's pulling weeds. But I'm also glad and thankful for some produce out of the garden. I do love Him tonight, and I'm thanking Him for His many blessings, and I intend to make heaven my home. I love Him with all my heart.
Praise God. So you're feeling better, Brother George? Pain's better? Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Who's next? Anyone else? Melissa, I'm glad you're back.
I thank the Lord for traveling mercies, and you guys know the text or the message on Facebook about Annie, the young girl, and she is my cousin, which is more like a sister to me. It's her daughter-in-law, so it's close to home. But here lately, I've been going through something that it seemed like every time I would try to pray, it was the enemy was just pressing upon me that I had no right to. And I've been battling it for a long time. And when Annie started going through all of this, it just was something that pushed me out of it, that I just started telling God that I do have a right to talk to you. And it's just the enemy that's telling me this. And when they started requesting prayer to start praying at 8 o'clock, I battled against the enemy that was fighting my mind, telling me that I had no right to pray and it wouldn't do any good. And I battled through that until I felt like that I was starting to just get that impression out of my mind. I just kept repeating the name of Jesus. And then I grabbed my Bible and I started telling God of the promises in His Word. And then I just felt like that I should open my Bible. And when I opened my Bible, right there at the top, it said, Christ healeth the sick. And it just so encouraged my heart, and I really just let the devil know that God was hearing my prayers, and that I still had a right to talk to God, no matter what you said, no matter what you say. I know it's just the enemy trying to defeat me and trying to discourage me, but I'm determined with all of my heart to keep fighting that, to keep pressing on, to keep praying, no matter if He is there fighting me, because God got me through that day, and I know that He will continue to help me. I love Him with all my heart. He is definitely all that I need. He is all that I will ever need. He has answered prayer for me this week. He is right there with me. I know that He is, in spite of what the devil says, and I hate giving the devil credit. I've always been that way. Don't give the devil credit for anything. Give God glory for everything, even if He is fighting me. Don't bring His name up. And oh my goodness, He has just been battling me very badly. But God is in control. I'm not giving up. I'm trusting in Him, and He means all the world to me.
Amen. Amen. Who's next? Anyone else? I'm going to count to 10, Sister Lucy.
Brother Bates, while I'm standing here waiting on somebody, you don't have to count to 10. I was thinking that the song you sang tonight, Under His Wings, you know, who from His love shall sever, you know, and I think how God's been with me throughout my lifetime. And a little bit of what Melissa just said, that I remember when I was just a young fella and I was dating a girl that lived quite, well, not too far, but it was a good little walk. And I didn't have a car for some reason at the time, and I was going to go see her, and so I walked to her house. And the journey back to my house, after dark, of course, I stayed as long as, until they kicked me out. I was walking down 21st Street, and as I came out to there, I knew the road I had to go down, and down that road there was a big old white German Shepherd that's probably never hurt anybody in his life, but it would come out that road barking, and you think it was going to eat you up, and I was scared of that dog. And I grew up in a church. It wasn't a holiness church, and I learned some things. It wasn't a total waste, but as I left her house, yeah, and it's the same one. As I left her house, I was still under the street lights, and I got to saying, the Lord is my shepherd, and I started quoting that song, because I was scared. And I wasn't right with God, and I knew that. But I started saying the Lord's Prayer, and all of a sudden, I looked down. Don't worry about looking down in life. You find a lot of things on the street, you know, change. And that night, I looked down, and there was a flashlight laying kind of in the gutter, or right there by the curb in the street. And I reached down, and I picked up that flashlight, I turned it on, and it was bright, like they just put new batteries in it. And it gave me what I needed to walk past that big old dog, because I didn't want to walk past it in the night and not be able to see what was going on. God lit up my path that night. And you know, sometimes one reason I'm saying that, I wasn't right with God. God heard me. God heard me. I used to smoke cigarettes. God took them away from me while I was still a sinner. And He knew it was going to be a hindrance for me. And I'm not, you know, people have struggles. God took care of my struggle. I wish He could do everybody the same way. But you know, I'm thinking of that song and how God's been with me. You know, in the Holiness Church, we believe a person can backslide. But just because we believe that person can backslide, we don't have to practice it.
That's right.
And God, from the time that I knelt at an altar at Triton Central Church of the Nazarene, gave my heart to Him. There's been times I was wondering what in the world was going on, but I never gave up. Amen. And I kept walking. Amen. And I never turned my back on my God. And he has always been there with me. And I praise him tonight that he's able to keep me to this day.
Praise God. Praise God. Anyone else?
Amen. Praise
Thank the Lord. All right. Well, Betsy F., go ahead. And I didn't call you Betsy Poe tonight, did I? I'm doing better.
Now, I'm so thankful that God is with us no matter what, and He's trying to teach me to trust Him, but I'm pretty stubborn. I've been really, really lazy this whole summer. I haven't done much of anything, and poor Curtis has been working really, really hard to make sure that I could do that. But I'm kind of going through something, and God is like, trust me, trust me. And every time I start doubting that the situation is going to work out, or I'm scared something's going to happen, I start literally feeling that, and I have some things that I'm going through that hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be able to pray to God about. But I'm just so thankful that He's with me, and that if I do trust Him, He's been helping me, and He's been helping me through so much, and I'm so thankful for that.
That's right. Praise God. Do you know this course? Learning to lead. Learning to lead. I'm learning to lean on Jesus. Finding more power than I ever dreamed. I'm learning to lean on Jesus. Praise God. Anyone else? Yes, my brother.
This may sound a little funny or different, but I was dissatisfied with the answers to prayer I was getting, especially for my unsaved children. And I said, Lord, bring them under conviction. Bring them under Holy Ghost conviction. Let the power of God come on them. Really deal with them. And I got thinking, and I turned that around and I said, Lord, bring me under conviction. Bring me under the power of the Holy Spirit. Let me pray until I pray through and overcome some of these little things that are, it says spoiling the vines in King James English, the little foxes. And it means like soldiers coming into a town and spoiling the town, taking everything they can get. And I just asked the Lord to deal with those little things that aren't so little that they hinder my conviction to pray and my ability to pray conviction on others. My ability to be filled with the Spirit so much, I don't know if I'll ever reach what Finney did, but people can get so filled with the Spirit that you walk into a room and everybody else just comes right under Holy Ghost conviction because the Holy Spirit is on you. I want to live there.
Amen.
And that's going to need some work of God on me rather than me saying, oh Lord, deal with my kids. Well, yeah, I wanted to deal with my kids, but I wanted to deal with me first. Get me in the place where I'm on obeying ground, where I can hear His voice and do what He says, where I'm on praying ground, where I can make my pleas and He will hear them. I want to live there. I want to see healings. I want to see God moving in power, great power. And that's going to mean I'm going to have to go up another level or 2 or 3 or whatever it takes. I just want to go there and live there and see God move and do things. There's great power in the Holy Spirit. And I don't think we've tapped into 1/3 of a 62nd, but I don't think we've hardly touched it at all. But it's there. It's there. It's for us. It's for people, just regular people. You don't have to be up there somewhere in the stratosphere, but you got to be obeying. And I'm asking God to bring me into obeying ground. And I'm believing God to send wonderful answers to prayer.
Amen.
Amen. Praise the Lord. I'm moving on.
Amen.
Thank the Lord.
Praise God.
Thank you, my brothers. I appreciate your help tonight so much. Let me segue off of what he said, and let me talk to you for a few minutes before we pray. The time has flown tonight. I didn't realize it was already 8:15, but I want to ask for your help tonight. There are some very specific prayer requests that I feel like the Lord is showing me is going to take more effort than just doing a little praying.
Amen.
I remember when Jesus cast the demon out of that boy, and his disciples were stunned because they couldn't do it. And Jesus had given them that power to do that. Remember? And they rejoiced that they were able to cast out devils in the name of Jesus, and yet in that situation they were helpless. And they said, why couldn't we do this? And Jesus said, and I paraphrase, there's some situations that only can come about by prayer and fasting. And I have some burdens that I want to share with you tonight. My sister mentioned this young lady named Annie. I had not posted on Facebook that she was related to us, but she is the daughter-in-law of our cousin Tammy. And Tammy's son Matthew is in the Air Force, and he's a fine young man. And he married Annie. And if God doesn't intervene, Annie's prognosis is very, very dire. She's a young lady. I don't know, early 20s at best, maybe 24. And she's having some serious physical problems that have just begun to multiply. She was lifelined today from IU North, right, to Methodist. They lifelined her just that short distance, one because of traffic, two because her situation, now she's now developed a blood clot in her leg. If God does not touch her, she may lose that leg. She coded a few nights ago. She has had severe intestinal issues, blood issues, blood pressure issues, became septic. She desperately needs a touch from God. I'm thinking of another situation that I'll keep, that I won't mention the name, but someone that is dealing with a terrible, terrible, terrible drug addiction. And I've committed to helping some parents pray. And I believe God is able. But I felt like the Lord impressed on me, you need to fast. You don't need to just pray. You need to fast. Folks, I want to take these requests seriously. Well, Pastor Don, we always do. Well, do we? Let me rephrase that. I want to take them more seriously than I have in the past. I believe God can intervene. But I want God to know how serious I am. I have another unspoken request. It's not that it's that big of a deal. I just don't know that I'm ready to tell you about it. But it is important. And again, I thought, I'm going to pray. And then the Lord said, no, you're not just going to pray. You're going to fast. And so I'm going to share some other requests with you tonight. But Annie, this individual that's struggling with a serious drug addiction, my unspoken request, and I have several others, but I'm wondering if there's anyone who would join me between now and Sunday in just fasting 3 meals. Is there anyone, and I know physically some people cannot do that, but I'm wondering, is there anyone here tonight that just, nod at me or slip up your hand and say, Pastor Don, okay, I see those. I see those. I see those. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. I have grown rather desperate that God intervened in some of these situations. And it's not going to happen accidentally.
Amen.
It's not going to happen accidentally. And so I thank you for helping me pray. And listen, I do not mean to minimize at all these other very important prayer requests. My heart is heavy tonight for George and Joyce Houck. I'm going to go see George just as soon as the service is over. And George and Joyce need our prayers. Vicki Haas has been moved to hospice. She's at the hospice house. And we need to pray for Vicki. God would help her. Jean Stacy is supposed to have surgery tomorrow. And we want to pray for him and pray for Carol, that God would be with them. They wanted to come tonight and Jean wasn't feeling well. Mildred Eversole had surgery this week, as did Phyllis Myers, and they both did very well and came through surgery. And I thank the Lord for helping them. We got off to a good start with Vacation Bible School. I'm so encouraged. 22 kids is a good start. I believe God can help us grow this Sunday. I trust you'll join me in praying God will give us a good day. I thank him for his help Sunday. I know we have people that are struggling. Folks, I want us to pray for them tonight. Some of you are fighting battles. We've got church family members that aren't here tonight that are fighting. They're fighting battles. Listen, the devil wants to get us all. You know that, don't you? The devil doesn't like you. Did you know that? He doesn't like it. And he wants to knock us out. And I've sensed, in our own family, I've sensed an attack of the enemy and I don't normally try to be this transparent, but it's been very, 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 very severe. And I want us to pray for each other. That God would help us. And I want us to remember these requests. And I appreciate you joining with me in fasting 3 meals between now and Sunday. And let's just trust God to help us. I joked with Jill, but I I don't take what she says lightly. I understand that when you're wrestling with what the Lord would have you do, and some of you are fighting, through those trying to make decisions, and some of you are dealing with life-changing decisions. Listen, I don't have answers. You know what I've learned? Here's what I would like you to play. Play "'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus." What I've learned is that I do a much better job of just listening, because I'm as human as you are. You know that? And I like to think I'm a good advice giver. But you know who the best advice giver is? The Holy Spirit. He's the counselor. I'm not an Einstein about anything. I hesitate. When I stand behind this sacred desk, I try hard to be the voice that God would have me be. And to rightly divide His word. But far be it from me that I'm the divine authority on anything. And I know sometimes if we're not careful, we think we have the answers. I don't have any answers. Jesus does. And I want Him now more than I've ever wanted Him, Rockwood. More than I've ever wanted Him. More than I've ever wanted Him to answer prayer, I want Him to answer prayer. And if I have to fast, and if I have to lay on this floor, lay on Saturday night, and pray, I'll do it. Whatever it takes. Brother Taylor, you're not wrong. We need God to help us. And I appreciate you joining me in earnest praying. I wish you'd gather around the altar tonight. Let's pray together as we end this service. If you're watching online and you want to join us in prayer, bow your heads where you are and join us. God hears us. He wants to answer our prayer. He wants to meet our needs tonight. And God knows the burdens that we're carrying. And God wants to help us. We're in a storm. We've gone through difficult days as of late. Several of our people have just sensed an onslaught of the enemy. Let's ask God to intervene tonight, to stay the hand of the oppressor, to answer prayer. Let's pray together. Lord Jesus, thank you that you are with us tonight. Oh God, we trust you. We lean on you. We depend on the power of the Holy Spirit. We depend on the leadership of the Holy Spirit tonight. Oh God, we lift these prayer requests to you tonight, and we do so in earnestness, asking you to intervene, asking you to touch us, asking you to help us, Lord. Oh God, we pray that you would have your will and way tonight in these situations that we mentioned. Lord Jesus, Annie desperately needs a touch from you. Oh God, touch her tonight, I pray. In Jesus' name, help her tonight, I pray. Oh God, be with her dear husband. Lord, give him comfort, I pray. Wrap your arms around him, Jesus. Please, please, please touch her tonight, Jesus. We're entreating you tonight. Oh God, we pray for one who's fighting a serious drug addiction. Lord, if you don't intervene, the situation is dire. Oh, in Jesus' name, help him tonight, I pray. Oh God, get his attention. Oh, lift the veil of darkness the devil has put on his mind and his heart and his body, Lord. And please touch him tonight, I pray. In Jesus' name, help him this evening, I pray. Oh God, I pray for my unspoken requests tonight. Oh God, I know you're able. God, thank you for the progress that's been made over in school. Again, Lord, we pray you continue to help the plans for this school year to come together. Oh God, send us all the kids you want us to have, but don't send us any more than that, Lord. You do exactly what you want to do with this school year. And Jesus, we will trust you and believe in you to help us. So have your way tonight, I pray, blessed Jesus. Oh God, we pray for our people, some of which are facing life-changing certain situations and circumstances. Oh God, futures that seem uncertain. Oh Lord Jesus, help them to place their hands in your hands. And help them, I pray tonight, for Jesus' sake. Oh God, have your will and way tonight, I pray. Thank you, Lord, that you are here and you are here to help us. Oh Jesus, move among us tonight, I pray, for Jesus' sake. Have your will and way, I pray. Oh God, keep us in your care the rest of this week. Bring us back safely on Sunday. We're believing you. We're trusting you to help us, Jesus. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Praise God. Thank you, Lord, for helping us. Oh, you want me to anoint you? That's right. We're going to anoint my sister for Annie tonight. And pray that God would touch her and help her. Would you kneel there by Mother Ronnie? Lord Jesus, we again come to you just now. We thank you for this wonderful spirit we sense in this prayer meeting tonight. Oh God, and again we come to you in accordance with Holy Scripture in the blessed name of Jesus. On behalf of Annie tonight, Lord, and we anoint Melissa with oil in the name of Jesus, asking you to touch Annie tonight, Lord Jesus. Oh God, we know you're able tonight. We believe you. God, this is a young girl that her husband needs her, Lord. And Lord Jesus, she's had so many physical problems. But I pray, God, that you would touch her and help her tonight. And so anoint Melissa with oil in the name of Jesus. We ask you to touch her tonight, Lord. So in Jesus' name, with faith believing, we ask that you would help her just now. Oh God, we're trusting you and we're believing you this evening. So Jesus, touch her and help her just now, I pray. Have your will away, I pray for Jesus' sake. God, we believe you tonight. We're trusting you. Jesus, touch her tonight, I pray. Touch her tonight, I pray, blessed Jesus. Jesus, blessed name, I pray. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Praise God. Praise God. Jesus, Jesus, how I trust you, how I fruit in Lord and Lord. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust in the Lord. Lady named Deborah Reed tunes into our services. I don't even know where she lives. Deborah, thank you for joining us. She just testified. I want to thank God for everything he has done for me. I love him with all my heart, and I hope to go to heaven someday. Amen. Amen. Deborah, we want you to go to heaven. Praise God. The Lord bless you all. Thank you for being with us tonight. Be safe and be blessed. Invite someone to come to church Sunday. We had 140 this past Sunday. Oh, I believe we could have 150 this Sunday. So the Lord bless you.
You fucking man.